almost about time to get your vote on, and so on. And with that in mind, we'd like to give you fine folks something to go on. Don't you dare vote for no one, son. You gotta vote for someone. This ain't a freaking fun run. If you don't show up, the whole thing comes undone. The Tories are the ones in power right now at the present hour, and they're committed to making Canada righter and clutching the federal purse strings tighter. The party first came to be in 2003, when a merger between the Progressive Conservatives and the Canadian Alliance made a new Conservative team. The Tories under Stephen Harper are running primarily on their record, and the leadership they've proven since 06 when they were first elected. That was almost 10 years ago now, so they'd like to think that they know how, and that they know best how to make Canada go, or at least how to maintain the status quo. If elected once again in election 42, they want to introduce a home renovation tax credit and a universal childcare benefit, and there will be no new taxes and digital services in the Canadas, which is cool, but it'd be cooler if they weren't opposed to legalizing cannabis. They actually want a stronger anti-drug strategy, so the fix is in for pot it all. These guys get high on bitumen, or not at all. Or not at all. Liberals long for a return to the glory days of like 1971 when they were led by Pierre Trudeau, so they recruited the next best thing, his son. The Tories say Trudeau's not ready, but have you seen that head of hair? Not one strand out of place. This is a man who always comes prepared. The Liberals were the first champions of the social safety net with things like pensions, Medicare, and multiculturalism, don't forget. But in recent years, they've been victimized by the political apparatus. In 2011, for the first time ever, they reached third-party status. In election 42, the Liberals, also called the Grits, want to entice the middle class by giving money for parents to raise their kids in the Canada Child Benefit, and by ending tax breaks for the rich. Marijuana? You better believe it. Trudeau too says yes to reefer. The NDP used to be number 3, but they've become the opposition. Led now by Thomas Mulcair, they've got a fair shot at winning the competition. Formed in 1932 as a cooperative Commonwealth Federation, the NDP surged into opposition status under the late Jack Layton. In a way, they're Canada's conscience. It can make them seem a little keen, a little zealous, but the nation seems to be responding to their message. In election 42, they want to lower small business taxes by 2% to create more jobs and give more people chances. They're aiming to create 1 million childcare spots with fees capped at $15 per day for Canadian tots. They'll bring the retirement age back to 65. With all apologies, they also want to reverse the Tories' environmental policies. Speaking of the environment, let's talk about the Greens, the super friendly cousin in the periphery of all Canadian election scenes. Formed in 1983, the Greens elected their first MP, Elizabeth May, back on 2011 General Election Day, but they're by no means a party to ignore. They're gaining traction every day. They want to tax large corporations like we used to back in 2008, eliminate personal taxes on incomes below $20,000, and create a green venture capital fund to help local businesses proliferate. They're good with marijuana, which is probably to be expected. It'd be a Green Party in Canada if the Green Party became elected. It's almost about time to get your vote on, and so on. And with that in mind, we'd like to give you fine folks something to go on. Don't you dare vote for no one, son. You gotta vote for someone. This ain't a freaking fun run. If you don't show up, the whole thing comes undone.